constructivism learning theories, let's look at constructivism, yeah? It's defined as learning as an active and highly individualized process of constructing knowledge based on individual past experiences, social experiences, and their interaction with the environment. This is by Duffy and Cunningham. And knowledge should be actively built up by students rather than being received passively by von Glaserfeld. This von Glaserfeld is a radical constructivist, which is very extreme constructivist, that he even believed that the students need to learn on their own, you know. But constructivism is the idea that very emphasized about individual responsibility, and individuals like you, Juniza, and also Alham, both of you are totally different, and therefore we believe that your learning path are so different between one and another. So in terms of constructivism learning theories, I cannot equate you, Juniza, with Alham, okay, in terms of your learning. So we give you experience, okay, to learn certain parts, and you build up your own understanding and your own environment. So your environment in Malaysia culture is also different from Oman's culture in terms of learning, in terms of like the design for graphic, okay? And Malaysia, we are quite different because we have multicultural society. So constructivism emphasize about learning is contextualized, okay? Learning is always contextualized, and learning can be multiple perspective. It's a learning that is very open, very open. So they have principles of learning. For example, it says that so in a class, right, when we have this belief, so the way that we believe the learning, you know, we pursue the student's question and interest is value. Like Alham, you ask me questions, so I value those questions because we understand that you want to find out more, okay, about certain design in Malaysia perspective. You do not know why it has to be like green, maybe certain red color during Chinese New Year, you know, design for the decorative in the shopping mall, for example. So you want to find out more. So sometimes it's all that you have those inquiry about certain things. Okay, so we have to value that. Study based on multiple perspective. So in constructivism, we respect that. And then learning is student-centered, which is influenced by constructivism, like the way I handle class usually I also influenced by constructivism. I prefer like student also lead you also lead some ways, you also make decisions in terms of your project, and also interactive and built on what students already know. So usually I will ask you, have you learned this before? So I just want to find out whether you have learned this before. For example, like learning theories in your previous class. So this current session, maybe it is a revision session, okay, to you. And teacher's role, usually we don't teach anymore, but we are more on facilitator to have a dialogue with you, and then identify the parts that you do not understand, so we can exchange idea, and teachers normally facilitate. They know better so they will facilitate the students in order to impart certain important notion. For example, like today, I'm facilitating to just maybe share my compilation of learning theories to you all so that I can facilitate your web design, so that maybe certain parts of your web design can incorporate, like learners when they try out their personality test, or maybe they try out their PERMA model, right? So they do something, they get their scoring, and then they reflect. You want them to do something out of that. Maybe they can have a worksheet or maybe manual of his PERMA profiler to be printed out, or maybe paste on the wall, something like that lah. If you can think of, because we understand that they themselves in charge of what of their weaknesses, in certain area of well-being.